So they're saying there's no bank. Of course there's no bank. I've told you the bank is cancelling the account. You told me it wasn't happening. And now the banks have been returning your money, my disablement allowance, and you're threatening to take away my disablement allowance because you won't give me cash because there's no account there. You've been told about this. It's time for the foreign administrator to stop abusing the people of the Commonwealth and to actually just give us our money the right way. So you can either give it to us in military script, which is cash, or you can give it to us in gold and silver, which is according to the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution. But there is no bank. So according to these people, and let's just cover up some information, according to these people, it's okay for the people of the Commonwealth to die in around streets, and that is genocide according to the UN treaties. So I'm going to put up the UN treaties one time just so that you can see what these people are doing to the people of the Commonwealth of Australia, and that they absolutely hate white people in this country. Because I've just been assaulted by some PSOs at the Supreme Court, and I've got 2 bruises from people picking me up and moving me physically so that I don't yell on the top of my lungs about being genocided, about our people being genocided on our own land. We have every right to voice up and to alert our people that we are being genocided on our own land. Now, if some chink didn't come around and make me homeless, this wouldn't have happened. Non-whites do not have rights over us to commit perjury in our courts, and that's what's been done. And you've had Indians saying to us, this is an Indian community and we'll get you out of here, and deliberately making reports to the police so that I get made homeless on my own land, in my own country. And by the way, Yun Fei Wang, Shi Tang and Cheng Yang Wu, there is a lien over that property of 2/16 Eldridge Street. There is a lien, a legal, proper, lawful lien over 16 Eldridge Street, and that belongs to the Commonwealth. It doesn't belong to you. So you're going to be making money for a long time, and then you're going to have it all snatched back and you're going to be in prison for perjury. So that's what's going to happen. And Supreme Court, just letting Laurie know, you facilitated assault, physical assault on a member of the Commonwealth today. You restricted a member of the Commonwealth from using our own heritage records of the Supreme Court Law Library in Melbourne. This is never okay to genocide a people from our own recorded history and to restrict us from having justice in our own court system that we made. We are the foundation. We built the foundations. We spilled our blood. And you as a woman, you should know better. You should be at home with your children. But what's going to happen is you're going to lose your job. And instead of our people being put in charge, you're going to be putting non-whites in charge, because that's what you're doing to our people, to Westernkind. That's what you're doing to our people on our own land in this Commonwealth of Australia. And that's what they're doing to everybody in all of our Western countries. Every single Westernkind is that this is what's being done to us. So they've decided if I must have legal access to the account. I've told them I'm not getting an account because the Commonwealth Bank cancelled one for me having no money. The Westpac Bank cancelled one for me not having money. And Bank First cancelled one for me using my disablement insurance from my super that I've now liquidated. So I can quite freely die on the street and it won't matter because my super's gone. Because I've had to use it in a hotel instead of getting a home, because Yun Fei Wang, Cheng Yan Wu and Shi Tang, under the guide of Trimson Partners Real Estate Pty Limited, who have committed perjury and followed through perjury right through for 3 years, and putting tribunal cases and the Victorian Civil Administrative Tribunal running those cases despite there being one open in the Supreme Court. And that's against some of the sections in the very VCAT Act and the very Residential Tenancies Act in the first place. And it's also against the law in terms of defamation, because these people were offered the money and they refused. They declined to make a new contract despite having they would be, what's that word? Despite having broken the contract, is the easy way to put it, right? And I had a right to recontract, and they said, well, we don't want to. We just want to be committing perjury in the courts so that we can get rid of all the white people in our country because we're just a bunch of foreign assholes. So that's the news today. I keep telling them, and now they're writing a letter saying, we want your account details. I've told you, Centrelink. I've told you, Australian government, I'm not participating. Third time is law. Commonwealth Bank, agent to the fiduciary. Westpac, agent to the fiduciary. Bank First, agent to the fiduciary. Third time being removed from a bank makes the law. You don't want me having a bank account. Therefore, I'm not having a bank account. So you will either pay me or I starve on the streets of my own country that my ancestors built and that my own Anzac bled for, fought for, your right to even exist here on this land. We've had enough of this, threatening to remove our sustenance, which isn't very much sustenance, and for allowing foreigners to commit perjury in the courts, to turn around and actually make it so that we can't get homes to rent even with $100,000 offered, and that our banks don't provide us loans anyway because there's no way for us to do it, to pay it. Not just that, but because they don't consider $200,000 from your super to be, quote, real savings, close quote. So Bank First, thanks very much for keeping my money wasted, and thanks Yun Fei Wang, Ching Yan Wu and Shi Tang and Trims and Partners for making me homeless in the first place with your perjury in the courts. Thank you, Supreme Court, for allowing that perjury, knowing full well that they were causing me CPTSD. You were told about that. That's in 2021 VSC 685. You can look it up. And there's also another case that is in process right now. So I want people to come down and support this type of thing when we're being absolutely assaulted. Do you want to see the bruise from Victoria Police? Here's my underarm, there's the bruise. Nice, isn't it? So this is going to be public now because you've started a thing. You shouldn't be doing this. Here's another one. Where is it? There's a little cut on my hand. See that little red thing in the middle? Not a cut, a bruisey thing. And if you see here, there's one there. I can't get it to focus, but there's one here, there. It's not come out just yet. It sort of has, but right. So that's two to start with, and I haven't had a look at other parts of my body, but they picked me up and dragged me along instead of leaving me to sit outside the law library. And they wouldn't let me in the law library because Laurie is an anti-white and she hates her own people. That's not my problem, okay? That's going to be her problem because she's going to face that, okay? Now, the Supreme Court can't be bothered assisting me despite being a fiduciary obligee directly to me for making me homeless. You do the damage, you accept the responsibility. You are the administrator over this section of the Commonwealth, so therefore you have a duty. And also, you can't break the UN treaties. You're an international foreign agent. You have a job to do. So it's time you stopped abusing the people of this Commonwealth. Don't touch me next time. I was not blocking the doorway. I was sitting on one side of a doorway on a step. And it wasn't even in the doorway. It was on the steps. You have no right to ask me to move from the property of my ancestry. It's the same as the Victoria Police and the Parliament thinking they can get us to move off of our steps of our shrine of remembrance. That's holy ground. It's our land. And it's our building and our shrine to our family. How dare you think you can remove us from there and break fingers and cause lacerations on us and bruises? You were told that I have a spinal injury, and you've been told each time. And you were also told that I weigh quite a substantial amount and that you're going to actually hurt me. So forcefully picking me up and dragging me along in a skirt which was lifted up, by the way. Absolutely disgusting behaviour. Victoria Police, PSOs, Supreme Court. Absolutely disgusting behaviour, removing us from our own foundation as a people. Westernkind, if you don't wake up, genocide is what's facing us. And this is an act of genocide, and so is this Centrelink letter. If you do not provide your account details within 14 days, I don't have an account because Bank first cancelled it, and so did in 2017 the Commonwealth Bank for having nothing, and Westpac for having nothing. And this time it's Bank first because I had something and I was using it. They couldn't usury onto people. They couldn't do usury onto people, loan it out 10 times and make money off of my back and only give me $400 over $200,000 for a month. That's what they do. They only give you a slight little amount and they're making a ton. They're making 10 times, taking it off other people. Slowly and carefully gleaning out of other people. But only if you leave your money in the bank, because if you leave your money in the bank, they can use it 10 times. So I can put in 200,000 and they can loan out 200,000 to 10 different people. But it's not real money, you see. It's all fake. There's no exchange of money. Okay? And instead of them having the money, what's happening is they're not really loaning money. What they're doing is those people are going out and working and putting $200,000 in the bank each, simply by contract. So it's all just usury upon people. But because they couldn't do usury, they wanted to keep my $200,000 in the bank and let me stay in my car by myself outside in 0 degrees in the winter. Well, the money's almost been used up now because I'm in a hotel. And now what's going to happen is Centrelink is going to stop paying because I've asked many, many times in writing to sort this out. And they keep saying, can you please ring this number? How many times am I going to ring you, Centrelink? I've been telling you for 2 months. And I've even been there and you just don't bother. You can't be bothered. I'm not having a bank account. If you want me to die in my streets, I'll die in my streets. And now that this is public, maybe you'll just let me die on the street and this video will be a witness against you. We're not complying to your demands. You are the fiduciary over the people. You owe us. And I have disability anyway. Your people have disabled me. And the Victoria Police PSOs, and I say, you're making people like us homeless. And he says, get a job. How can we get a job if you're disabling us and doing this? Well, how does that work? Are you stupid? Well, you have to be, I suppose, to work for a foreign administrator. You know, if we're not able to resolve your complaint, you can contact the Commonwealth Ombudsman. How many times have I contacted the Ombudsman? How many times have I written to DSS and said you need to make an adjustment? And they're saying it's to these people to do the adjustment. So it just goes back and forward between these three parties. The DSS and this Ombudsman thing and these folks. And they're all foreigners. You ring them up, they can't speak English. They're not even our people. Some of them are. When's that? It's 12th of February. So in 14 days, they're going to let me start to starve. I don't know why they keep writing to the post office box anyway, because it's going to be closed because there's no money to pay it. And I've told them where to send it. Care of Supreme Court of Victoria, 210 William Street. Why? Because the Supreme Court made me homeless. They took the fiduciary responsibility. That is how it works. You cause someone damage in the war, silent war, you take the responsibility. You have caused war against my people, constantly making us homeless. They don't even dare sign it anymore. They don't even dare sign it because they know the implication of what they're doing. I don't know how many times I have to keep talking to you. Why would I phone again? How many times do you want? Why do you want to keep me phoning you? Why don't you just listen? And no, I'm not getting a bank account. Everybody who talks to me, get a bank account. Why? They're going to shut the bank account. I have to do this jiggy dance thing for them. The fucking R.B.A. has spoken. The I.M.F has spoken. They don't want me in the banking system. They want me dead. Because I'm white. That's what it's all about. Okay? If it was an Aboriginal, oh yeah, here you go. You can have a little card or something. Here's your cash. Don't bullshit me. Don't bullshit me. Okay? We know what you're up to. You're a foreign occupant on our soil. You're putting Aboriginal before everyone else. You're telling us directly right here that we're going to be starving in a couple of weeks. Who said you could? Right? Who said you could? This is evidence of genocide. I'll be keeping this one. Okay? You're now being reported to the AFP for genocide. Who's the boss of this place anyway? I'm going to find out who the boss of this place is. Some dipshit somewhere. And he's going to end up, he or she, probably a female. They're fucking useless, these women. Or a non-white. Services Australia Gov.au. It says Gov.au, it means they're the fiduciary of the people. They have a responsibility. Doesn't matter who they think they are. They have a responsibility. It doesn't matter. As soon as you see Gov.au or Vic Gov.au, they are a fiduciary to the people and they have to do what they're supposed to. No question. My affidavit does not say anything about you get to choose whether I have a bank account or not. You have to support me now because you made me homeless and you stole my work, you stole my teacher registration, you stole everything, just like you're doing to a lot of my other people. Westernkind, if you don't wake up, this is what's being done. We are the people of the Commonwealth. We're supposed to be being looked after by our own people. But, you know, if you don't provide your account details within 14 days, I've told them for 2 months there isn't one. 3 times is law. There's no bank account, Centrelink. You're going to have to negotiate a way to do it. I'm not re-engaging. I'll be the example that dies in our streets. I'm okay with that. You can't force me to worry about this. Because I'm not going to worry about picking up anything. If I have to go outside and sleep, so be it. If I go outside to sleep, then I won't be doing anything. I'm not participating in this shit anymore. I'd rather be a martyr to my people. It takes a lot of balls to be that way. But you've taken shit ton out of me. You've taken everything from me. You've taken everything from lots of my people. And you've given it to others. You've given it to non-white. You've given our homes away. Oh yeah, but they paid for it. That makes no difference. All you have to do is give us a place to live. We don't need the money. We need food, clothing, shelter. You're doing absolutely none of it. You're doing absolutely none of it. Oh, have you got someone who can help you? Oh, have you got someone who can help you fill out the forms? Do you want someone to come to the bank with you? Do you have anyone who you can go and stay at their place? Department of Housing. Department of Anti-Whiteism, should just call it that. Because they serve all the they're not even migrants, they're just invaders at this point. Because there's nothing here for them, they take our homes. And we go on the street. Because then they go ahead and commit perjury, because God, nobody wants to tell the truth about what they've done. But I'll be telling everybody, I'll be telling everyone, perjury is a crime. Defamation is the same as murder. You read up about it. Defamation of someone, you might as well just kill them. And they're going to do that too, don't worry about that. Because it just said here, if I don't call them within 14 days and have a bank account available for them, then I get to die. That's okay. Okay, bye. No worries. Who's Miss Cathcart anyway? Did I ever say I'm Miss Cathcart? That's not who I am. The trust and the charity name is not Miss Cathcart and never has been. You're not interacting with Miss Cathcart. Whoever that is, there could be hundreds of them. I wouldn't know. But I'm definitely not Miss Cathcart. Will you cut that shit out? Misaddressing things. Thinking it's okay to starve people. Don't play games. Because this game is going to be over very quickly. Police said it takes about 7 days for someone to die without food and water out in the sun. I think it's quite a few less. I think it's about 3. I could be wrong. Because I did hear that fat kind of can be digested into liquid as well. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I did, Anyway. So this is the threat that's upon us if we don't have a bank account. So they're basically forcing a large portion of the population, and if you don't participate in usury, then we get to starve you on your own land. Because we can't give you a job because you're a white woman or a white man and you're not anti-white enough. We can't help you to learn about the law because asking for cultural appropriate care and disability at Victoria University, oh no, you can't do that. So that's another defamation by the state, who is a fiduciary of the people. So it's going to go round and round in circles because I know so much of what's going on. You just got to keep chopping off my legs a bit more, don't you? Because the more you chop off my legs, the more you make it look like I'm a dumb shit. Or just a mental asylum case or some shit. When it's you causing the fucking problems. But we're going to fight you. You're going to find out really quickly that the people of our people, of the Anzac, are not going to... We're not settling for this. You help the weak. And you help them in the way they require. You're causing your own self problems by forcing us into this shitty banking system with the R.B.A. who just steals our gold from us and everything else that we have. They steal every resource that we have, and some of it we get a little drizzle to buy back at a high cost. We get a little drizzle of the iron ore back in pots and pans that we have to pay Korea for. Or whoever's making them at the time, whatever's the hot cake at the time. This won't do, Centrelink. Australian government that doesn't even have our proper coat of arms on there because you're not the Commonwealth of Australian government. Services Australia is an agent to the fiduciary, and the fiduciary is supposed to be doing a job. What job are you doing, Services Australia, besides employing foreigners who don't know shit? They can't even understand when you talk to them, and you just want culturally appropriate service. We're the only race who's not allowed to ask for that, by the way. And YouTube keeps blocking us saying anti-white or Westernkind. That's how much they hate us as a race, as a people. So unless our people start to wake the fuck up, to be honest, in a way, if I run out of money, I run out of money. That's okay. I've got balls. I've got more balls than most of these guys, men included. Not my audience, of course. My audience are well hung. But these fuckheads who go around and they have to pick me up and drag me around, like, you know, move me from off the steps of my own ancestors' building of the courts. Disgusting. So, I'm okay with starving in my own streets. Are you okay with me starving in my own streets? That's against the UN treaties, by the way, genocide. Deliberately causing distress, either physical or mental. It's one of the aspects of genocide. Deliberately causing their physical destruction, stopping them from having children or families, etc. Man, we are in some really exciting times, don't you think? This is an admission that we're going to genocide you if you don't get a bank account. I take that as a threat. I take that as a threat to white well-being. I take that as a racial threat against my people. Cultural threat against my people. Something to think about, I suppose.